Hey everyone, welcome back to another Leagues video. In this one, I just wanted to take some time to talk about the power of the resetting of the demonic packs tree. Since I made my guide video to the packs the other day, they have revealed that we get 40 points, and also that for the first 3 echo bosses we kill, they each earn us a reset of the tree, which means you can start fresh and build something entirely different if you want. But a lot of people are viewing this as a way to press an undo button if you take something and then decide you don't like it, or if you picked the wrong node by accident and you just want to undo and get out of jail free card. And that's a fine way to look at it, especially if you're a more casual player. But if you really want to push the system to its limits and get an edge on the competition, then I think you're gonna have to plan your resets strategically to get a leg up on this league. And as someone who also plays Path of Exile, I mean the Path of Exile 2, but the comparison's the same. This league's kind of built for me, so it occurred to me almost immediately that we're going to have to use these resets strategically. And I just wanted to make this video about it because I haven't seen anyone else talking about it. Like, people are like, yay, we get resets, we can undo if we do something bad. But no one seems to be talking about how to use them for an advantage. So, to do that, I'm sort of going to be going over my own plan. Not as a build guide, so to speak, but to explain how I'm planning to use these resets to hopefully give me an advantage in the league. Now, the general idea is, previously, we've never had the ability to reset anything. So, once you pick something, you're locked into it. And you sort of have to break that mindset of, okay, I'm playing this build for the league. I'll show here what I plan to end up on. This is the build I would like to play once I have all 40 combat mastery points. But it's going to take me a long time to get there. And I'm gonna have a lot of different builds. Like, I'm not just gonna slowly build this up, because we can do better than that. Because to start out with, I actually don't want any of these nodes, barely. I want these ones, which is totally opposite. There's barely anything shared. I think these 2 nodes are the only shared nodes here. So, my point is, you could play a different build at different points in the league, especially if you plan it carefully. Sorry for the flashbang there. I've put all of the tasks for unlocking mastery points into a spreadsheet for my regions, which I'm planning to take Kandarin, Mauritania, and Turanwin. This build that you see here, the 11 points I have named Barrows to Fire Cape, is a build for the early game. It's going to make sure I always have runes by regenerating half of them, and it is going to heal me when I cast water spells, which is going to be fantastic in the fight caves, because I'm planning to try a mage build in the fight caves to get an early completion with the auto healing here. And as you can see, I've got equip a fire cape in slot number 12 here on the list. That will be my 12th mastery, which is why I've got 11 points in this build. But this is the one that I will be starting to build from the start of the league. However, after we get the fire cape, I've got some big slayer grinds to do. I need 93 slayer total to be able to kill Therme, the Kraken, a Raxor, and a Dark Beast. I have a lot of slayer requirements in my region, and this build isn't exactly gonna be great for slayer. So that's when we use our first reset. We reset and we go into a pure melee one-handed build. At this stage, I expect to have Mauritania unlocked. I should have already been farming Barrows with the first setup to have some relatively decent gear. Like, this isn't going to be a quick process, don't get me wrong. There's going to be hundreds of other league tasks in between all these. We just don't have the list yet, so I've only put the packed ones on my sheet for now. But we're going to reset. We're going to go for a melee build. I'm going to be using a Blisterwood flail here, because it is under a kilogram, so we can get extra attacks. And until I unlock a whip, that is going to be the best option. So we're going to have a DDS for specs, which will sometimes not consume energy. We'll have a little bit of thorns. Not that the thorns is that relevant here, but this is only the start of Slayer, right? And we're not going to be resetting again until 24 points. So I'm going to be building my Slayer out then to this, which will give me, I'm going here first, that's why these nodes have been selected basically, so that we can get to here quickly. Because this node's very good for Slayer, as long as you're holding a shield or an offhand. You get heal for 2 and restore 2 prayer points whenever an attack deals 0 damage to you. So it's basically infinite prayer. You're not going to take damage if you're praying against a Slayer enemy, an Abyssal Demon or whatever. So yeah, very nice for Slayer, and that is the big grind I'm going to be doing in this second portion. We're going to be unlocking a bunch more points along the way. The first few are relatively easy as long as we get the 6-9 Herbal for anti-fire. But that's my plan then. I'm going to go into Slayer for a bit, and once I've got all those grinds done and earned 24 points, that's when the next reset comes. We've got an occult necklace as well by this point. A bunch of other upgrades, probably a Noxious Halberd. Then we go into the CG farm setup. This gives me a 1-tick powered staff. This gives me a 7-range halberd that does dirty ranged echoes for a bunch of bonuses. And we have prayer penetration, because I'm honestly just going to try machine gunning with the powered staves and the prayer penetration and seeing if it's good enough to farm Echo Hunleth, because if it is, then I will. It'll be a lot easier. But we've got the halberds as another option if that is a bit too intense. And from here, I want to take this into sort of the most tri-breedy build I've done so far, as we are working our way through top, and that will add some more power, as well as blind bags. I'll get some Darox axes or scythes or whatever in the invent, because they can all trigger ranged echoes as well, a 20% chance each with this crossbow equipped. This is more tri-breedy. We don't really have anything that's like true ranged. Like, we're kind of just triggering ranged off the blind bag here as a melee build, and then we've got the powered stave to make use of the Mauritania Echo, and also because we were using it in the gauntlet earlier. And then finally, once I've got most of my tasks done, all the melee tasks in Mauritania basically, I'm going to reset into the build that I actually just want to dick around with and play for the rest of the league. The max earth tank that I showed earlier, which is just going to absolutely nuke everything with flat damage from earth spells and Devil's Element and possibly the other echo there. I don't know what the echoes are yet, they haven't been fully released. Now I've sort of gone through it step by step, I think you can understand more what I'm saying when it comes to these strategic resets. Like, this first one is probably the easiest example to see just how drastically different we want to path from one task, equip a fire cape, to the next, assemble a Slayer helm. I don't want any of this stuff while I'm going for a Slayer helm. I do want all of this stuff, because it's going to give me a double hitting whip or Blisterwood Flail to start out with. I've got all the quests in Kandarin that can get me like attack levels so that I can equip it as soon as I get to the region, basically. And a Blisterwood Flail is a decent weapon, like, it is not bad at all, especially with all these buffs we're giving it. And soon enough, we'll get the Whipper, that'll be the main weapon. Progress, reset again, do some CG, farm up to top, reset again, go into the final build. And that is basically the gist of what I wanted to say with this video. I've seen a lot of people talking or sort of brushing off the resets as, that's great, I'll use it if I fuck up and I need to. I haven't seen anybody talking about using them strategically like this, so I just wanted to make a video on it, sort of throw it out there to give whoever sees this a hand, I guess. I think it's going to be very important, and I'm planning to use all 3 of my resets strategically like this to progress through different groups of tasks. And obviously, like I said, there's going to be tons more tasks within here that aren't giving me packs, just regular league tasks, and I'll just like make sure to fit them into the section where I'm using the best gear for them. That's basically my plan. And yeah, this wasn't meant to be a build guide either. I just thought it would be easier to explain what I meant while going through the example, and hopefully it made sense to you all. Let me know in the comments if this has helped you and if it's something that you're now thinking about planning. I'd love to know. Other than that, hit the like button, subscribe. I'm planning to be live streaming the first few hours of my own league process, so if you want to see me work up to maybe the first reset live, then I will be doing that. Other than that, look after yourselves, be lovely to one another. I'll see you on the next one.